Order. It being 4:30 p.m, I propose the question that the House do now adjourn. And I call the member for Perth.
Speaker, if elected, a Labor government will pass on a fairer deal to the next generation of Australians, because fairness is the driving force behind Labor's vision for Australia and Labor's vision for Western Australia. The Leader of the Opposition, Bill Shorten, and Labor have a vision to end years of injustice on the distribution of the GST. The Leader of the Opposition and Labor have a vision to ensure that Western Australia receives our fair share of funding for schools, hospitals and infrastructure. The Leader of the Opposition and Labor have a vision to give Australians a pay rise and restore penalty rates for hundreds of thousands of hard-working Australians. The difference between Labor's positive vision and the current activity within the Liberal government is stark. Labor has led the way on GST reform. The Liberal government's plan for the GST was announced an entire year after Labor put forward our vision. It took a whole year to get something out of the then Treasurer, the now Prime Minister. Labor has said very clearly, we will fix a 70-cent GST floor, moving to 75 cents, in law in the first 100 days of a shortened Labor government. We'll make the GST floor the law, Speaker. This week, the member for Burt and I tabled a motion asking for the detail of this plan that the then Treasurer, the now Prime Minister, developed. No one has seen this detail. I commend the member for Burt for asking what every Western Australian wants to know. Where is the detail and where is Western Australia's fair share? We're sick of waiting. We're sick of debating this. It needs to get resolved. I don't know why that detail hasn't been released, but I am a little concerned about what I read in the Mercury the other day about how allegedly the now Prime Minister speaks to colleagues in Tasmania. If we know what is being said to those in Tasmania, I would hate to know what is said about Western Australians behind closed doors when all they ask for is a fair share of the GST, which I think is universally acknowledged needs to be resolved. Every day that goes by, we see another claim that it's going to be fixed and that it's all, something that makes myself, the member for Burt, and all hard-working WA Labor members very angry is that we get told it is fixed. Well, the cheque has not arrived on the Premier's desk. There is not a single extra dollar that's been provided to Western Australia as a result of this fix, Mr Speaker. A fair share of the GST is about justice for Western Australia. It doesn't cover up any of the other cuts to services in my community of Perth or my colleague, the member for Burt's community out in Armidale. Labor will reverse the Liberal government's cuts to hospitals and protect Medicare for the future. Labor has committed more than $2.8 billion into public hospital funding for more nurses, more doctors and to clear elective surgery waiting lists. That's more money for hospitals in Perth, including Royal Perth Hospital. And we need investment in these services because they're an important safety net. What people are telling me in my community is that they do feel like everything is going up except wages. They feel like the economy is not working for them. They're worried about passing on a worse deal to their kids. And it's not really a surprise. We've seen inaction on penalty rates from the current government. We have seen cuts to essential services, but until a few weeks ago, never-ending determination to pass out billions of dollars to the big banks. And what we see is, while the on-the-ground services are being cut, while there are serious concerns about people's income and serious concerns about reduction in penalty rates, we're seeing a government that's divided, fighting amongst themselves, instead of focusing on the needs of Western Australians. Australian families were concerned when the Prime Minister referred to his own party as the Muppet Show. The Prime Minister's own description of his own government. I have many policy disagreements with the Liberal Party and the National Party. I outlined a few of them just moments ago. But I was disappointed that the Prime Minister described the leadership of my country as a Muppet Show. It's wrong. It is not how we should talk we should never find ourselves in the position where we have to say that about our own country. We should celebrate what makes this country great. We should celebrate the work that is done in this place, and whatever the specific policy disagreements, we should show respect to the government, not describe it as a Muppet show. That's why I'm so pleased to be standing as part of a stable, united Labor team, 100%
Members'
focused.
time